Hello, everyone, at the 11th annual Tracking Santa live show. Today we have a special guest with us. He is our first returning guest, and today we have Karl Fruendt with us.
Good morning, everyone.
How are you today, Karl?
I'm doing well. I am at the NORAD Track Santa Remote Operations Center in Georgetown, Bahamas.
And what is your involvement with the NORAD Track Santa program, just to give everyone a little bit of a refresh?
I am pleased to be the voice of NORAD Track Santa. When the Santa cams are operational, I'm the voice of that. I also do the voiceovers for the top and bottom of the hour radio updates. So radio stations around the world can know where Santa is. And then the Santa cams, when you click on noradsanta.org, that's my job.
Yeah, and can you explain a little bit about the radio updates you do for perhaps people who aren't able to hear them?
Beginning at 4 a.m. Eastern Time on Christmas Eve, the NORAD Track Santa Operations Center stands up and starts taking phone calls and emails from children all around the world. What we provide is for radio stations who want to share with their listeners where Santa is. At the top of the hour and the bottom of the hour, we have radio updates tracking Santa's progress all over the world.
And how many radio updates do you tend to have? I guess it rolls throughout the day?
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 48 separate radio updates.
Wow.
And radio stations are available, the updates are available to the radio stations. And it's just a fun way to help track Santa throughout the day. Regardless of where you're at in the world, you can get an update on where he is.
And do you record them alongside the Santa cams as well?
Indeed. The Santa cams are operational as he goes around the world, and just a fun time to sit down and have some fun making sure that we at NORAD are tracking Santa thanks to Rudolph's red nose, and that the children around the world know that it's probably time to go to bed because Santa won't come unless you're in bed and asleep.
And what is your most enjoyable part about recording the voiceovers?
Each voiceover is a little bit different, but I get a warm feeling inside knowing that there's a child somewhere that is anxious to hear where Santa is and that sort of thing. So thanks to the 1,400 volunteers who answer the phone calls and the emails at the NORAD Track Santa Operations Center, I help bring a little bit of holiday magic to a lot of people.
And when does planning tend to begin for NORAD Track Santa in terms of the rest of the year?
Actually, in April, we will start for next year already. We start lining up the corporate sponsors. We start updating the where Santa's going to be going and that sort of thing. Then throughout the summer, we're solidifying those arrangements with the sponsors and that sort of thing. It is the Department of Defense's greatest public affairs outreach program, bar none. And then right around the end of October, we start signing folks up for the Operations Center. We have volunteers that will come from New York City, fly into Colorado Springs,
Blimey.
and do their 2-hour shift just to be a part of something like this. Then, of course, this past week, we set up the phones, we set up the computers, and we are ready to go.
And how much involvement do you have during that early planning process? Do you have much say in what goes on, or?
My availability to NORAD Track Santa begins right around the 1st of November when we start re-recording some of the audio tracks and that sort of thing. But my availability, again, is whenever they need me, I will come and help out and that sort of thing.
And what is your favorite part of the NORAD Track Santa program?
Every year they come out with new games, and so the NORAD Track Santa app is just a wonderful app. It starts the 1st of December, and they unveil different things during the month. So I'd say the Santa NORAD Santa app is probably the funnest because you can go on there, you can play different games and that sort of thing, and they're very clever on what they do. So that's probably the funnest thing. The next part would be just telling the story. I also have an opportunity to go out on the road with the Air Force Academy Band as their narrator. And right in the middle of the show, we bring up and tell the story of how NORAD Track Santa began in December of 1955 with just a mistaken phone call.
What is your favorite part of the holidays in general?
I enjoy Christmas music. And when I'm able to listen to Christmas music, tell the NORAD Track Santa story, it makes me feel warm inside. I have my colleagues who some will actually say, hey, can you give my child a call on Christmas Eve? And I will for certain folks. I can't do it for everybody, but I sure enjoy it. It is a lot of fun.
And do you have a favorite Christmas song?
Oh, wow. Favorite Christmas song?
It's a difficult question.
Carol of the Bells. There's so many different types of Carol of the Bells. That's a lot of fun.
The Home Alone version always comes to mind.
Indeed, it is. It's so much fun, and you can have a lot of fun with that. And then just your traditional songs as well, the Silent Nights and that sort of thing are incredibly moving and appropriate for the season.
Is there anything that we could expect from NORAD Track Santa in 2019 that will potentially be new on the December the 24th?
Santa has actually his trajectory in and around where he's flying over Iceland and Greenland.
Yeah.
He decided to take a little bit different route this year. So
really?
There will be a little bit of a different take on that. And then he'll be coming down the East Coast. He'll still he's still traveling at the speed of starlight. So he will make sure everything is, all the good little boys and girls get their Christmas presents. But yeah, he's taking a little bit different path across Greenland and Iceland this year.
So it is confirmed there will be a different kind of route this year that he will take, especially over that Atlantic crossing.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit of a diversion.
Yes.
Do you see yourself as part of the NORAD Track Santa program for years to come?
As long as they keep asking me to come back, I absolutely will share my time and voice with the NORAD Track Santa program. Absolutely. It's a ton of fun.
And of course, you're the sole voice of NORAD Track Santa. In the past, they used to have a variety of voices for the cams. Is there any plans for that to do so, or is it just going to remain one voice?
Right now, the plan is to update the Santa cams as needed. Every year we add a few different ones, especially if there has been something that happened in the world. I remember 2 years ago we updated one for the children who suffered, their neighborhood suffered an earthquake.
Yeah.
And we wanted to make sure that those children knew that Santa would be coming to their house, even with the disaster that happened outside.
And how frequently do you update those cams? Is there plans to update more?
We try and do about a quarter or a third of them, make them fresh every year.
How do you like to spend the holidays, and what do you do on Christmas Eve?
The way I like to spend the holidays is a traditional Christmas Eve church service with singing and that sort of thing. My wife and I have tried a new tradition, and we are spending Christmas in the Caribbean, and
Ooh.
That's a lot of fun as well.
I bet it's very hot there as well.
It's very warm. It's kind of funny to see folks in tank tops and shorts with Santa hats on. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I bet that is bizarre. Anyway, thanks for joining us, Karl, and we'll get back to the stream now.
Thank you very much. Merry Christmas, everyone.